There we go. Alright, you guys. Hi, chat. It's your friendly neighborhood loser, Eages. I am doing better, but I still can't imagine my life without this person. I wake up in the morning, and it's been unseasonably cold here. I've ranted about it. But, dude, it is 30 degrees here right now. I know it's 5:30 in the morning. And they're like, hey, Eages, it's cold. It's morning. Bro. You know, superstitions are dumb. But there's weird things out there that we don't understand, man. Is it cold just because my brother died? Probably not. But is it synchronizing? Absolutely. Like, one didn't cause the other, but did they happen at the same time for a reason? Do you ever think like that? Oh yeah, you guys, you know what? Even though I'm running on time and I'm gonna get to the office, I'm gonna still go down my spooky street. I love my spooky street. At the bottom of the hill. Let me put this on. But dude, it's absolutely freezing. And everyone in some point in their life has struggled with mental health or had a day so bad it got to them. But man, this last winter just really fucking, it stayed cold for too long. Like, it was fucked up. Here's our spooky street. I don't know what makes it the spooky street other than, you know, there were Native Americans here and they got massacred in the 1800s, and there's burial mounds over here. And like I said, I don't believe in like a lot of that superstitious spooky shit, but I mean, you commit a lot of evil in one area and people can feel that. Honestly, let's just hang a right. Yeah. Is the Haunted Woods. And we've done a lot of fun things here. I even tripped acid in these woods. And it was fucking weird because the other people, they were doing like thelemic, like magic. Like they were doing Aleister Crowley. They were like doing the reciting of the Thelema, like Mysterium, dum 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 dum, like whatever the remember it. I mean, I remembered enough in high, but I don't know how the to remember. And it's like, Magnum Mysterium, Father, something, and he's like talking about summoning, like, I think one of them is Horus, and yeah, allegedly Aleister Crowley summoned Horus during the day in his house with rituals. Again, a lot of this stuff is totally fucking hokey pokey. You know, like, from the outside looking in, you know, all the occult stuff. But you have to entertain the insane Speaker History Channel theories like, was there an alien? Was there some technology we don't understand? Because, like, there's no... Like, look, I don't believe in angels or demons or wizards and all that fucking... That's all fairy tale shit, right? Good for that, right? But they have pictures of Aleister Crowley's house during the daytime, and it's dark inside. It's dark inside during the daytime when light's coming in the windows. It's like weird shit, man. So, you know, the Christians hated that guy, and they like revered him as an apostle of Satan, an apostate, and a complete... He was just studying fucking ancient shit, you guys. They call him the most wickedest man alive. He's talking to demons. He's just researching ancient text, you guys. He went a little overboard. He's a little bit of a hobbyist. A little bit of a weekend warrior there. But, like, it's weird. It's creepy. It's unsettling. Black Sabbath made a song about him. It's just studying ancient rituals. Ritual magic is... Why am I even talking about this stuff? I don't know. Ritual magic is just a lot of repetitive chanting and eating gross things and shit. I swear to God. Swear to God. I mean, but I don't think they do that type of shit in like the Order of the Golden Dawn or anything. Hey, good morning, guys. It's Eages here, your friendly neighborhood loser. We're on our way to the office on a spooky morning. And I miss my brother with all my heart. So I guess when it comes to like this live form content where I'm acting all like shitty and like emotional and real and raw, the younger generation likes that kind of stuff, and they'll click on it. And then like a 3-hour long edited video by me, that's more of the attention span of my age group. Or put it on in the background. So I'm gonna try and do some more streams, gaming. I'm gonna try and get some Gears of War in. I think it's time for a new controller, but I have to wait a paycheck or two here. You can always look at my wish list on Xbox Live. My gamer tag is the same as my YouTube, sans the 420. I added the 420 after the original Eages channel got kicked off, and yeah. Because if you think they're like crazy now with the AI people inspecting your video, not people, the AI computer inspecting your videos and doing all this shit. The reason I got terms of service, oh dude, where's my other shit? Dead ass? Did I set that down somewhere? Fuck, man. So much for listening to music. I don't know where I set down my other phone, but that's not good because that has all my personal shit in it. Oh my fucking God. It was on the seat next to me. It was underneath something, guys. And it's crazy because, like, I have a lifestyle that people cringe at. Why do you need to smoke pot? Why can't you just be normal? Well, yeah, some people need pills. So, it is what it is. But man, smoking pot's not even fun anymore now that I lost someone so close to me. Now I smoke just to avoid having a panic attack over it. I used to like stupid stuff. Like, I have the mentality of a 16-year-old still. So I'd be like, wait, I gotta go shopping? Let's take a gummy first and see when it kicks in. That's how I would be like, and still am. Because life is too short to be stone cold sober. And now look, there is a fine line between self-medication and addiction. And there are people that, even though weed itself is not addicted, there are people I know that they'll sit down with a 3.5 and they won't, it's not like they rolled a fat blunt for everybody. They'll sit down with a 3.5 and they'll keep packing bowls until it's gone. And then they'll be like, all right, I gotta get some more weed tomorrow. And that, like, you're like, what? Like, so even for a habitual loser like me, there's people that just, it's like, dude, George Carlin said it the best. He was like, people that smoke too much are idiots. He said, once you've gotten the highest you can get, you're not getting more high. You're just smoking the rest of your weed. Like, once you're like 5 bong rips in, and you're like at that level, if you continue to smoke, you are just wasting your weed. Unless you're like taking a one hitter, like, to like maybe to sustain the buzz through a long prolonged activity. Maybe you're at the golf course or something, I don't know. But I won't say anyone's real name, but I was hanging out with this homie and we had hella weed and whatever. We had the whole, like, talking about like Hunter S. Thompson. We were on the edge of Barstow, like, we had this in the trunk, we had that in the trunk. We had a rolling party with us, but all we had up in the car with us, so for cops, obviously, be smart. If you're gonna do that stuff, this was before weed was legal, you guys. So we had just a little one-hitter dugout, right? The wooden box. I gotta figure out how to sleep without hurting my neck. Ow. I have like a Tourette's tick. And I'm not mocking people that have Tourette's. Like, people have asked me, do you have Tourette's, Eages? But because I'm constantly trying to adjust my neck or find relief. It's tight and it hurts. Oh, God. Anyway, what was I saying? We had the one-hitter dugout box. And you dig in one, blow it out, paper clip it, dig in one, blow it out, paper clip it, dig it in. Then he had a pre-soaked alcohol swab. Good on him. He cleaned the bat, wiped the bat out. Then he hit the dugout box again, and he smoked again, and dugout box again. We're on our way up to Wisconsin to like go camping and like wild out and listen to music. And he's just hitting that. So then we had to stop when we were at the gas station. Bro, I put a 7. I put a quad. Like, I swear to God, I put a quad, ground it up, and it was a big dugout box. I crammed a quarter in there. I swear I did. I was like, what are you doing, bro? He's like, we're out of weed. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I gotta get some more from the trunk. Like, I don't know. Weed can help everybody. Lifestyle is not for everybody. Does that make sense? Like, you could smoke weed and feel very extremely uncomfortable, but then in the come down of that state, when it's less strong, you might have epiphany, you might have unscattered thoughts, you might come to terms with pain or guilt from years ago and let it go like a cloud in the sky. But you never have to smoke weed again, you know what I'm saying? Right? It's one of those things. Like, oh, I tried mushrooms in college and not again, ever again. They got their thing from it. They got their life epiphany from it. They got their message. They got their divine intervention. Right? If whatever you want to call it. And people have like, obviously I'm self-aware, but like people have been like, all right, man, you just talk about drugs and video games. But the thing is, acid and mushrooms probably why I'm still here on this planet. Like, I felt like giving up before, and an ego death will quickly put you back in your place. And even if you have a terrifying PTSD trip, you're going to come out of it with some semblance of order and renewed appreciation for existence. You know, the cliche of the sailor who's been on the boat for a long time and he kisses the ground? Yeah. It's like that. You want to kiss the ground. Like, because, like, life is terrible and filled with pain and suffering and sadness. And there are those less fortunate for us that I carry those less fortunate than us being bombed in other countries and stuff that have nothing to do with anything. And, like, I carry a little guilt and my heart goes to them. That being said, life is such a terrible fucking ride. But the thing is, when you've undergone the psychedelic experience, one tends to come out on the other end of that experience being like, oh, well, life is full of pain, suffering, sadness. Like, case in point, what I'm going through right now. I never thought my whole life that I would lose someone close to me like this, and that I would have to carry on. That being said, what the psychedelics do is they morph your perspective to be like, okay, well, life is nothing but pain and suffering, but we're not actually supposed to be here. We're not supposed to exist. The events that happen for our molecules to coalesce and for the light waves to hold us together, like, Christians would say, oh, that's evolution, that's terrible. No, like, how life came about, seriously, like, turn off your religious brain for a second. How life came about in and of itself is a miracle. Don't be like, oh, God did it. No. How life came about, specifically sentient bipedal life, that we're distinct from the other animals, and we, like, talk, and we're shitty and jealous and weird, and trust me, the fact that we have a mind and the fact that we see in front of us, we perceive concepts like time and language, that's not supposed to happen. All right? Like, at best, life is microbial. You know what I mean? So, like, that being said, when you have an ego death, it just pounds that perspective into, like, hey, look, dude, you can take your gift of life and you could fucking be a shitty ass, or you could take your gift of life, you can suffer, and then because look, life is suffering, but you can see a new movie. You can, no matter how impoverished, or downtrodden you are, you can always, and this is why I'm so sad I lost my brother. I there's always help until you feel that help won't help. Does that make sense? And I couldn't sleep. I woke up before my alarm went off. I'm just missing him so much, you guys. And I'm doing the drug rant again, but I really think that, like, life is a precious gift. And before I did psychedelics, I did not think life is a precious gift. And I thought, fuck those people, who cares if they die? Fuck those people, who cares if they die? It's funny because I've been talking about out of both sides of my mouth, because I'd be like, I'm a humanist, war is bad, fuck war, and then I would be like disenfranchised by the end of the day, and I would be like, you know what, fuck them. If they can't solve the conflict, fuck them, you know what I mean? And that was like super negative, and then I had my first real big, like, psychedelic journey when I was 18, and like because I had, like, dabbled with stuff, and I'm not encouraging you guys to, but when I was like 16, 17, like, I had tried a small amount of mushrooms, and it made me giggly, and I rode my BMX bike around, and it was like, it wasn't anything frightening remotely. So then when I was older, I got a hold of some golden teachers, some gold caps from Angkor Wat, like imported gold caps. And like, there's no reason to import something like that than when you can just get the spores for it. They're like, no, this is the real deal. I was like, all right, I've seen this before. And so whatever I got when I was a teenager was like gray caps or blue caps, like psilocybin plus B or B plus, or like it could have been like some blues. Anyway, I eat the golden teachers roughly the same amount that made me giggle my ass off from the time that I remembered before. And even though I'm kind of like a hang loose and just take some, like, be a fun guy, see that? That's a play on words. I was precautious enough to be like, all right, well, this is the same amount I took the one time a few years ago when I was like 16 and I wasn't afraid, whatever, you know? So I had no idea at the time when I was like 18. I was like, yes, dude, I finally scored some more boomers. And then I had the gold caps, and then I was like in my room staring at the wall. My mom was like, what's wrong? And I was like 17 or 18, and I was like just about to move out. I was like in college or something. And I was like, Mom. She's like, what's wrong? I was like, Mom, I'm peeking. What? Peeking duck? Mom, I'm peeking. And she's like, what? She's like, you're on drugs. She said, I told you not to do mushrooms. And I was like, Mom, I am fucking wigging. Please don't yell. And she's like, all right, what do you want? And I was like, can I have some cookies and like a glass of orange juice? And can you bring me like a DVD, like a movie or something? I put it in the, bro. So my mom at one point in her life must have had a scary experience herself, because instead of continuing to yell at me, she like got me the drink and the snack, and she was like, okay, now you relax. And she like turned the lights down and was like, you relax until you come down off that shit. But yeah, I thought that was a funny anecdote. If we're getting ranty, right? It's like I had the silly experience, and then I had no idea that the gold caps were more potent or more introspective. That's probably a good way to put it, because I don't really like when people do entheogens recreationally too much, but at the same time, you can get in that mental state recreationally. So like I see both sides of the coin, but like, dude, I don't like people taking a handful of shrooms at like a dumbass music festival. I'm sorry, modern music festivals like that are trash. Like, there's no Tiesto. I'm so old, man. Some of those old trance and dance guys like Armin van Buuren. Come on, man. Anyway, that was my story. I tried some, had fun. A few years later, got a different kind. I had an introspective head loop. But you know what? I was feeling stuck in life at that point. And that scary introspective, the bad trip I had, where I was rocking in the corner being like, I fucked up my life. I ruined my life. I didn't follow my dreams. I'm getting too old. Oh my God, you're gonna be 21 soon. Like, that's how I felt when I was young, right? What's up, you guys? You're watching Eages, your friendly neighborhood loser. We are on the way to the office, and we are ranting about life, loss, love, drugs, hard penises. And I don't want to, even though I'm silly, I don't want to come off as juvenile, or I don't want to promote it to everyone, but it could help. It could help. Everybody knows a guy who has a bad story. My friend tried shrooms, jumped off a building. My friend did shrooms, he tried to cut his wrist. Everyone's got the horror story, right? But what's not told there is that someone who's never fucking had more than a cup of coffee in their life is given a big bag of shrooms by someone in bad faith, and maybe not even told about dosage, or even saying just eat a bunch. Do you understand that that's where these horror stories come from? A guy in the woods camping with his dog and having a smaller dose of mushrooms and meditating, some California hippie with a man bun, that's harmless. When you hear these horror stories because people are sick and sadistic and they're like, here, just take a bunch, because they want to sometimes it's somewhat innocent even though it's malicious. It's like, oh yeah, the like stupid people are like, oh, I'm gonna see my friend wig out. Nah, that would be funny, see him wig out, like as if they were too drunk and they needed to call an Uber. That's not how it is with psychedelics. You can't just do that to someone. They could okay, let's just say for hypothetical as a trauma, they saw their dad die or something. You're gonna dose somebody like that in a high dose, and they've never fucking even smoked weed in their life, and they're gonna be like ruminating on that. They're gonna be having like repeat thoughts. They might relive it. They might go through it again. So, like I said, again, I'm not promoting drug use here on my channel. I am only telling my stories. But what I will say is, those horror stories, definitely, most of them come from people fucking with people, people dosing people, people being malicious, people giving people mushrooms in bad faith. And what I mean by that is, like, say you know your uncle and he's a little bit of a tweaker and he's not all there. You know, like, it's fine to do psychedelics if you have, like, autism or retardation or anything, like, on that spectrum, right? But if you like hear voices, sometimes it can increase that. Now, that's one of those horror stories. Your parents say, don't do psychedelics because it'll awaken a dormant psychosis and you'll become schizophrenic and you'll start. That's not how that works. That's a scare tactic. That's always been a scare tactic. You already have to be slightly schizophrenic, or in other words, you already have to be presenting with symptoms for the psychedelics to accelerate it. And it's not accelerating it, it's just opening so many different neural pathways that have been dusty for years that it might increase hallucinations. There is something called HPPD, and that's called hallucinogenic psychosis, persistent psychosis disorder, I think. But, like, these things are safe when taken correctly. Absolutely. So, like, when you hear the story about, oh, dude, this guy did so much acid, he fried his brain, like, you got to be doing hurt yourself amounts every time daily. Like, and as much as that stuff is fun or enlightening or awesome, how can you do it every day? I couldn't trip shrooms every day. Fuck, man. And especially because someone I care about just passed away. I don't think I should do a trip. That's what they mean by set and setting. How's your mindset? And is the setting comfortable? Do you have people who care about you around? Are there people that are sober that can watch? Because the worst hijinks happen, and I've been I've been a self-participating victim of this. Guys, let's all dose, and then everyone's wigged, and then, like, I'm the one who can keep it together the most, so, like, I'm the one who has to answer the door for the pizza delivery guy. You know what I'm saying? And here's the conundrum. Here's the double-edged sword of psychedelics. Let's just say, hypothetically, everything goes well and you're under the blanket of safe use and harm reduction. You're with a sober sitter. You have everything in place, and you still don't have a great time. Here's the double-edged sword. You want to be in a safe place. You don't want to try entheogens on the subway, okay? But the compromise is being outside means more unexpected variables when you're in that state of mind. People might think, oh, I will feel safe in my house, but being with nature is the best way to enjoy these types of things. I don't want to go into it further. I have a few more minutes here before I have to start my day. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to slap like and subscribe. I've been doing these more raw, short, vertical live streams right from my smartphone instead of my video camera or my computer. And the idea is, 1, for me to heal, 2, for me to, like, kind of get it all out. I think that goes with number 1. But there's a goose on the roof. I'm sorry, that was distracting. There's a goose on the roof looking down at me. Go back to Canada. I'm just kidding. Canada's a nice place. Sorry, waving to my friend. What was I saying? Sorry, that goosed me. Gooseberry. About the short format lives. Apparently, I don't want to be, now that I'm an unk status, I don't want to fucking be out of touch with what's fresh or what's hot. You feel me? I've always been really current, like even back then. And so I know the younger fucking people like these talk to the camera, talk to the smartphone, look at me, I'm a streamer kind of thing, right? And I know I mentioned it earlier in this stream, but yeah, my older viewers definitely like to watch me rant while I'm gaming or talk about stupid shit inside of a silly edit. And I've got lots of stuff planned for this channel if I can make the time for it. Right now, I'm broke as a fucking joke, and we got to work on that. But I think I want to get the telephoto lens for my GoPro, so I don't have to buy a camcorder. I'll just get a lens with a little bit more zoom, and then use the GoPro, because I'm gonna have to edit and render in something else, because I'm using the free to use software, and it goes to 1080 60 frames, and that's it. So it's redundant if I'm filming in 5.3K. And I have some high quality clips on my page that were straight from the camera or just cut and not like edited in editing software. But you got to scroll for them, and that's not fair. So I got to figure that out. I also don't want to be cringe or disrespectful. I want to film places. Hey, what's up, Vine? What's up, Vine? Good to see you. Good morning. Good morning. I also want to make videos about like some cool places, but I don't want to be cringe or disrespectful. If it's one thing that I hate, is that, how do I put this? I don't like when I see influencers like with selfie sticks and shit, and they're like walking around, they're getting in people's way, or they're like at a place. Like, I've always loved to film stuff and make videos all the way back into the 90s. I always loved to film stuff and edit it and make videos. That's like kind of like been my thing. That's like my brand of autism, I suppose, is just like being obsessed with videos and like playing synthesizers. I'm sorry, I was like, someone was like waving at me. I don't have to go yet, but give me 1 second. But I want to make actual like more videos. I was always discreet, or I had a game plan to film. I was never like a jackass making people feel uncomfortable. And if I did film people by mistake, I would blur their face out, just out of respect. But I'm thinking I want to make a video at a lapidary art museum that's here in Illinois. And lapidary art is like carved stone and precious stones and stuff. And there's like I don't know, it's like a 5 foot tall palace made out of hand carved jade. That shit is, and there's only a few YouTube videos on this place already. And not to talk shit, like, but it's just like some like mom or school group or regular guy like filming the place, and like, oh hey, this is the the edits aren't none of the cuts are the same. None of the cuts are like the same length. So it's like there'll be like a long part and then like a short part, and like the transitions don't make sense. And then there will be scenes fading in from black, but then it'll have a jump cut as well as fading in from black. It's just really inconsistent, and the audio is clippy and bad. And so I figured, fuck, I gotta go there with my GoPro. I gotta get the mucho wide angle lens. I gotta go there with my GoPro, film all of the keyframe shots of the exteriors. Then I gotta film interiors so that I can do, because, okay, this is one thing that Gen Z does that is like, I don't love it, but it's like, whatever, is that when you speed things up to like 32x speed and it gets like all jittery and shit, and like, I will incorporate that in a way where it does a sweep, and if you have the right frame rate and print speed, it's not so, it doesn't, there's no ghosting or jittering or tearing on the screen, so you can see the video move fast without getting without getting nauseous. And so I want to do the keyframes. I want to write a script. I want to ask permission of the people to film there. So maybe I could film after they close. Yeah. So that's a video effect that me as a millennial that we love, but you guys do it right from the smartphone, and it does this little. It makes it like robotic, and like, dude, I can dig that. Like, I understand. I totally understand. Like, if I was born in a different time, I would be all over those types of edits and jump cuts, and that's why I use them too, because like, I want to be able to connect with everybody. So if you scroll down my YouTube and you really have patience, or you have like time, go through some of those earlier edits. That was me after like taking 15 years or 10 years or more off of making video edits and coming back to it, because we used to make skateboard videos, and much like those Jackass guys or those CKY guys, we would start filming silly bits as well as the extreme sports, because we did BMX, we did paintball, dude, we did like parkour, we did skateboarding, dude, we did everything. We did dirt bikes and ATVs. Yeah, dude, just kind of an adrenaline junkie. I tried snowboarding a few times, but I do want to go surfing, but I'm afraid of the ocean. I want to go surfing, but I'm afraid of the ocean. But anyway, back to the jump cuts and editing. Be on the lookout for that stuff. I'm definitely going to try harder, and I need to cop a solid state drive to clear space so I don't overload my GPU and CPU. And then I could tweak a few more settings. And then eventually, when I get the new Xbox, the stuff going through the capture card will be 4K. So it's going to be wonderful. And I just feel excited about making silly videos again. And I feel excited about sharing my zaniness with the world. I feel excited to connect with others, as I've met so many other Gears of War players here on the platform. I just feel excited for this, and at the same time, I'm missing someone very close to me, so it's hard to stay motivated. But I want to create good content, not only for myself, but for other people to enjoy, because I've been not stuck, I've been a lot of places, but I've been here in Illinois, by Chicago, near Chicago, I should say, for my whole life. And everybody who is not from the state of Illinois or the Midwest in general is just not familiar with how cool Illinois is. And at the risk of sounding overly prideful of where I live, it's cool as fuck. But it's not just my ego, like, oh, I'm from fucking Illinois is the shit. No, dude, I used to want to leave Illinois all the time. I say, I'm going to California. I love skateboarding. I love big marijuanas. I gotta go to California, I like industrial music. I gotta go to the LA goth scene, I gotta go, like, play the synthesizer in a scary band or something. But then I started to travel more and see more places, and then I was like, wait, Illinois is fucking cool. And then now that I'm making like a return to the internet and YouTube creating, I'm really thinking like this, dude. Everyone who's not from the Midwest thinks like, oh, Chicago, rappers, O Block, gang violence. And you can go to those places, you can go to those scary places that the rappers talk about, and that's cool. Like, that is such a small part of Illinois. So, like, okay, the city, as a local here, the city downtown, unless you're going to the art museum, the field museum, the aquarium, or Navy Pier, or going to a show at one of the venues, it's so fucking overrated. Unless you're going to a specific really good restaurant, or you're going to a show downtown at like House of Blues or Cobra Lounge, Live Wire, Abbey Pub. If you're going to a show at one of the joints, right. But the suburbs, specifically places like Schaumburg and Elk Grove Village and Arlington Heights, all of those places, Japanese people, Korean people. If you're a weeb and you like anime, they have the bookstore that they're importing all the stuff. If you read manga or whatever that shit, Japanese, reading from backwards, whatever, you read manga or whatever, they got it, bro. Okay? I'm older, so like Gundam Wing, dude, they got all the figurines, man. Okay? They've got everything. You want a giant plush of Totoro? They got that shit, bro. Do you want to go to a hole-in-the-wall mom-and-pop Japanese store or Korean store? Do you want to go to any number of these sushi restaurants owned by Koreans where you can get sushi, gimbap, and bibimbap, and fucking, dude, you get that shit in the dolsot pot, in the hot stone bowl? Bro, you feel me? Dude, culture is fun. Like, don't get it twisted. I'm not some kind of a weeb. I'm just, my homegirl is Korean, so like, naturally, I started learning about Korean stuff. Some of the best food in the world. Like, I'm Italian. A lot of people contend that Italian food is good. Sometimes, if I'm offered a red sauce, I want to projectile vomit violently. I've had it so many times in my life. You can have the spaghetti, bro. Give me some budae any day, bro. Like, even basic bulgogi, right? Just, there's places out here in Illinois that would blow your mind. There's some places, a handful of places here that we have that the only other ones exist in Korea. Like, there was one time where I went to a karaoke bar where no one spoke English, and we were just kind of like jamming out and having fun. Like, that was back before my teeth were all fucked up and I was actually confident like around strangers, and I used to like to go out. Yeah. But now I don't go out as much. But I'm thinking, now I gotta wrap up my stream here. It's time to go punch in. But I am thinking that maybe if I'm in between making a long format video and I don't have the hard drive or the gear that I need to make said video I want, I could do a live stream, from my GoPro, right? I could be having the chest mount. I could do a first-person bowling stream. I could take it off the first-person mount while I'm live, screw it onto the tripod, and get a nice back camera angle. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I was bowling high men's average, like 260s. Okay? Just saying. There was a time where I did bowling a lot. And I told a story where I threw up at bowling. That was a funny story. But anyway, I am depressed as you can get, y'all. But I'm trying to stay happy. And last bit of my rant before I leave is that I just want to address that I hate that feeling. Is that I miss someone that was so close to me and I was so close to them. They're gone, and I can't, like, if I make a fucking silly video and it gets 1 million views, I'm just being hypothetical here. I'm just, not that delusional. But if I make something funny and it gets a bunch of views and I can't go, hey, bro, come here, check this out. Look at this. This is funny. It's hard to stay motivated on the creative front when all I want to do is sleep because I'm sad. So, as corny as this sounds, as cheesy as this is, I don't think I should just give up. I think I should keep creating content. Like I was just ranting about making videos of museums and historified sites. I think I need to follow my YouTube journey for him. Because it doesn't make sense to turn off, even if I'm sad or depressed or grieving, it doesn't make sense to just turn off who I am and what I love, even if it's triggering. And, like, I don't cry that often. I'm not trying to be like toxic masculine, like I'm tough. I don't cry that often, and I've been crying on my lives. Like, and I used to really like be judgmental and cringe at people for filming sensitive moments like that. But what I realize is that the same thing's probably happening to them, and they're not being performative. They're probably just hearing something that's making them remember something, and they're so, like, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm all over the board this morning, you guys. It's time to go. I'm going to try and finish my beverage and get inside there. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hopefully you guys stick around. Special shout out to Vine for stopping by my stream and saying good morning. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully tonight I can play Gears and Chivalry. I want to get some multi kills in multiplayer, and I want to go super sweaty, and I just want to get a really good stream in and hopefully get more exposure on my quality of gameplay. Yeah, so I miss my bro, and I feel lost, but one of the only constants is video games, and we're going to try and get a lot of headshots, a lot of trick shots. We're going to try and own some noobs tonight. Sound good, you guys? This has been Eages. This has been Eages, your friendly neighborhood loser. And I have got to go clock in.